Hi guys. Wow, it's been a little bit over a week, I think, with the holidays and stuff. So I want to jump right in because I feel like I have a whirlwind of messages. And one of the main ones is Spirit is wanting you to like Spirit is testing everyone right now, and Spirit is testing you to see if those little habits and things that you used to do are gonna get you by now. And the way it's gonna happen is like I'm just gonna tell you what happened to me today. So I got these boots and I got them back in August. It was like a birthday present to myself. They're a little bit more of an expensive shoe, but I got them because I knew that they were gonna last me like 30 years. And I woke up today and my sister was like, the dog like chewed your shoe, and she was like being like, it's not that bad. And I'm like, bitch, what the fuck? What happened? And I got really annoyed. I grabbed my shoes. I went to the back. And it's funny because I like got up and like I kept saying, damn, I need to shower. Like I kind of smelled to my mom. My mom was like, go shower. And I'm like sitting there. And then all of a sudden she like wakes up from her sleep and she says that to me. And I'm like, so I go and shower and I'm like, just clear your head. Just clear it. And I'm like, but I'm fucking mad because we have this dog and I just noticed that like I do a lot more for it than my sister does. And it's not like she just it's like I'll take her for a long walk, my sister just takes her out, right? Like it's she helps, but you could do more. And so that was just annoying because I was like, clearly the dog did that because you weren't doing what you were supposed to do. And so the dog always acts out when she feels like she's not getting the attention she needs. And so that was my first annoyance. But then it was just like, I fucking am so patient with all you motherfuckers every single day, as much as you piss me off. And y'all just don't get it. And so finally I was like, you know what? Whatever. I need to shower. I need to ground. And so I took the other little dog out that I have. And we just walked around outside. And I was like trying to rush her. And then I could feel myself just saying, patient, patience, patience. And I kept thinking about the shoe. I was like, you know what? I'm going to take him back to REI. They're gonna tell me that they can exchange them, and it's literally gonna be just easy like that. 222 on my clock right now. It's gonna be so easy. And I just kept telling myself, like, I deserve this. Like, I don't need to do anything that's gonna steer me off my track. Like, I know I'm on the right track, right? And so I go to REI, I drive right over there, and I just go straight up to the shoe place. I get the shoes. They have the last one in my size. So I'm like, okay, like, whatever. And so I call one of my friends, and she's like, just switch the shoe. She's like, just switch it. And I'm like, I've been there before. I don't want to do it. I don't want to do that. Like, I don't want to deal with the consequence of that decision. You know what I mean? And so I decided to take both shoes up to the counter and I said, hey, this was an investment I made and this is what happened to my shoe. I didn't even really tell her. I was just like, look at it. It's ruined. And she said, you're going to have to call corporate. We're just not going to be able to accept this. And I'm not even kidding. I said, okay, like, do you have the number to corporate? Like, I was like, I don't care. I'm going to trust right now. The shoe is going to get returned some way or another. And the woman said, actually, never mind. I'll return it. And she returned the shoe. And so I got a whole new, brand new pair of these shoes. And these shoes were really made, like, I'm telling you, they're made for me. Like, I get this whole new brand new pair of shoes. One second, my dog is scratching. And everything just seamlessly works. And I'm telling my friend, I was like, I just had like a very interesting Christmas. And I don't really celebrate, but my family does. And I just look at it as like we're all coming together and showing love. And I have four sisters. I'm the fifth. And every year, I try to do something throughout the year for us and like bring us together, and they all shit on me. And so on this day, I get a call from one of my sisters, and all of a sudden I'm in a five-way chat with them. And I'm like, okay. As soon as I get on the call, I literally slip and fall. And then after that, one of my sisters who just does not like me, she just detests me, just starts going off on me. And I'm like, I don't need this evil eye energy. And so I just removed myself. And I've been really like learning, like, you can only give your energy to so much. And that's what I learned there. I gave my energy there and I watched it just go out the window. And so after that, I was like, I'm telling my friend on the phone, I'm like, just all this shit keeps like coming up. And I'm just learning right now to be an observer. How many of you during this holiday were observers of maybe of your family's energy, of your parents' energy, of your siblings' energy, and you were given like the right, like, hey, you don't have to participate in the chaos. You don't have to participate in the dysfunction. You can actually just watch and choose where you want to insert yourself and where you want to sit this one out. And that's what this holiday season is like, has been teaching me. And I mean, I'm sure it's been teaching a lot of you too. You've already healed to a certain level. There are some people who just will never reach this level. There are some people who have chose to descend in this season, to descend in this year. There are people who just energetically, they're not making it into this next year because they haven't energetically released all the weight that they've been carrying from 2000, from 1999. You know, like there's just so much resentment that has been built up within so many hearts. 555 on my clock. That so many people are just staying where they're at. And listen, the message that I have is, baby, I'm gonna leave you where you at because I'm no longer people pleasing so we can be cool when we have to see each other or be in communication with each other. I'm already in this pleasant energy. I'm already open to, give you love. But if you're not here to receive it, that's no longer my job. And so a lot of us are moving into the season where we're just recognizing, like, oh, we only ever got along because of me. But when I decide to stand in my power, baby, you don't like it. You don't want to be a part of it. You don't want this. And so this season is really just teaching the collective, my collective that I'm reading for, hey, baby, we're here, we're ready, we showed up, but we don't have to be anything other than who we are because we've been that, we've done that, and we've gone down that road, and we know what that gets us. Same thing with the boots. I've been down that road. I've stolen from a store before. Do I really want to deal with the aftermath? Probably not. I'll just I'll do it the right way. I'll do it in integrity, and I know somehow, some way, God will return it back to me, and that's what happened today because I made a choice. And that's the thing. A lot of you are being tested with a choice this season, and you have a choice to do it like your old version would have done it when you were living in a much lower vibration, or you get to do it from a higher vibration. You know, that decision is what ultimately it's gonna give you more abundance. After I left that store, I went and I had a nice little coffee and a little breakfast burrito. And I was like, at first I was like, I'm just gonna get a coffee and go. And then like Spirit said, no, sit down. I want you to enjoy this. Like I want you to literally sit down and just enjoy yourself right now. And so I sat down and I had a coffee and I had this really yummy burrito and I was just like, damn, like I don't do this enough for myself because I'm so worried all the time. But being able to do that gave me leniency. It gave me, okay, well, why don't you go do some of the other things that you wanted to do because you're out right now and you have the time. I went and met my mom. I went to the spiritual store. I got a new deck today, which I'm super excited for because I've been wanting to do this. And Spirit just kept showing me, and either on the way, I'm like, 111's the address of this place. 6500. Okay, we're at 11 now. Like I pull into this place, I'm like, damn, this is nice. And I wanted to go somewhere else, but Spirit said, no, there's something right up the road. And I just kept being led by Spirit and led by my spirit and my heart today. Because honestly, we like lean into so many other people's hearts. We lean into what they need. We lean into what their complaints are, and then we can't center ourselves into what we need. And Spirit just said, you've been wanting a new deck. Nobody got you that for Christmas. Go get yourself a new deck. You need this. This is part of your business and what you're growing. And I said, okay, Spirit, I'm just going to listen. And that's the thing. Spirit just asked us to be obedient. Stop worrying about the money. Stop worrying about what's happening next, what you're going to get from this. What you're getting is an opportunity for more growth, for an evolution. And so I could have like really came back home with a stank ass attitude, but I decided to come back with peace and joy because God put that on my heart. So sometimes when we're, met with animosity and we're met with, a challenge, instead of reacting, it's better to respond. And sometimes Spirit will have you respond slow, but in other times, Spirit's going to have you say, okay, let me feel this emotion. I know I'm angry right now, but I don't want to blame. So let me just be angry, but act on this anger. And I honestly just feel like it's a tap into that Mars energy. Okay, well, what can I do to fix the situation? The best thing you can do is go out and try to change it. You know, that maybe they wouldn't have taken the shoe back, but then I could have called corporate. They say send a picture. You can make the picture look a certain way. Oh, send the shoes back. You know, some way, somehow, it would have gotten fixed. And that is like the faith that God has like stored into me. It's like, don't worry about the material. Don't worry about how it looks. Just go and take care of it, and I'm going to take care of you. Because the way I looked at that girl, she wasn't going to give me that return. And then she said, you know what, baby, go ahead. I'm going to process this return. I'm going to process it for you because I can literally feel God on you. So, yeah, the message is be patient, but listen and be obedient this season, okay? Just be obedient. Nothing always looks right, but as long as you're patient, you're good, okay? And I also want to touch on this because before we get into the reading, it's another download that I had, and this is for my females, my ladies out here. You have never chosen yourself in your relationships. In your relationships, especially with partnerships, karmic partnerships I'm talking about, you have always said, you know, he needs this from me, or I have to do this for him, and, you know, I got to make it work for us. And every time you've done that, you've ended up on the short end of the stick. You've ended up losing a partner, or you just overgive too much. And then that person takes, and it leaves you feeling drained. And I know I touched on energy vampires in the last video, but I really want to touch on it now because this weekend, December 29th, we have Mercury going retrograde in Capricorn. But not only that, it's going to be kissed between Venus and touched with Pluto, okay? And Pluto is like going to be more down the line where Mercury and Pluto touch because Pluto's at the end of its leave, basically. But Mercury being retrograde next to Venus is really going to bring up some past relationship issues and past relationship beliefs in yourself. And in the past, you said, you know, it's okay for them to use me. It's okay for them to use my body. It's okay for them to treat me, you know, like such. But since then, you've learned and you've gathered a sense of yourself. And since then, you've really decided, like, you know what, I'm worth more than a phone call at 2 a.m. I'm worth more than a last minute, you know, I can take you out to dinner, but we have to split the bill. You know, like, I'm worth more than that. Like, you've learned through that process. And so this Capricorn Mercury retrograde is really going to ask you, like, I'm going to bring this person back. I'm going to bring your soft spot back because I'm testing you to see if you're really ready for what it is that you've been praying for. Because sometimes you think that you've been praying for the karmic because the karmic gave you what you're used to. But because you haven't let that go, what's coming in for you is put on pause. And so Spirit is really getting into the nitty gritty with the collective, with the divine feminine right now to say, all right, you can go choose them again and relearn the lesson, repeat the cycle, or I'm going to let you sit here and be met with some peace. I'm going to sit here and let you be met with joy. I'm going to sit here and let you be met with the person I already chose for you because you let that karma go. So this message this week is all about baggage, baby. It's all about what you're carrying and what you're choosing to not see. And the worst part is a lot of you already had the revelations like, oh, that person wasn't for me. Like, that person didn't care for me, didn't love me, they didn't treat me right. But then the moment that motherfucker texts you, you're like, I knew he was the one. And that's just not, like, Spirit is laughing. Like, Spirit is like, I really want to know. Like, I'm going to use this vessel to see if she's really ready to follow my plan. And so you are being heavily tested right now. The test is so intense, and not the worst part is, but it's like the best part about this is you will know it's a test. Even today, I literally had to say, like, do I need to take the shoe? But I was like, no, that's a test. That's a test because it makes you think. It makes you start to get a little confused, and that's why you really got to be patient with God and listen to yourself, listen to your heart, because if that person comes back from the past, are you gonna say, well, damn, he did make me feel good, we did have some good times? Or are you gonna say, hell no, outside of that motherfucker treated me like shit, I stopped eating, I stopped enjoying myself, I stopped wearing makeup, I stopped like dressing myself up nice? Like, you got to think about every single part of this journey and what that person did for you, because if it wasn't enough, you need to move on and move forward, because what is coming is greater than what was lost. And I promise you that this is not the same energetics that we've been dealing with. It's different. And when you move different, everything is replaced, okay? Like my mom is moving right now and I'm just like, holy shit, mom, you have shit from when I was like 10 years old here. You need to let it go. That stuff is just stuff. And when you literally, especially in the material, because the material is like the final density, when you finally let that stuff go, you just give it away, you sell it on Etsy, do what you need to do with it. You start to feel lighter. Even your body starts to feel lighter because you're no longer carrying around the weight that you carried when there was energy holding you down in 2003. Like that's the point of this. Like this whole point of Ascension is to feel comfortable and cozy with the idea of letting it go. So Spirit has been very clear on that. Don't bring your baggage with you, okay? Let's get into the reading and get into prayer. I'm so excited about this deck. It was the only one that spoke to me. So yeah, I'm really excited. Thank you, ancestors, Father God, Mother Spirit, for holding me so tight this week, holding the collective so tight this week, and allowing us to move through this holiday season with grace, with your love, with your passion, with your compassion. I just pray for a clear message from Spirit, from you, from all the divine ancestors and spirits that guide us through. I pray that I can deliver a clear message and that you can allow me to be me through this message and just deliver it with honesty, with divine union, and unity next to you. Okay, Spirit, I thank you so much. This has been such a wonderful day. Thank you for blessing us as a collective. Just pray, amen. Okay, now to the reading. Oh my gosh. Like, look at how beautiful. Power of attraction. Okay, let's get into it. Spirit, thank you so much. What do we have today? What is the collective? Oh, these are going to be hard to shuffle. All right, let's see. Okay, what do you have for the... These are going to be so hard to shuffle. All right, let's just do it like this. Spirit. Pandora's gift. Okay. Pandora's gift. Let's see what we got next. Going beyond normal. 14 is that number. So that's a 5, and the first one was a 9. A lot of change happening amongst the collective. I'm telling you, energetically, we're changing. I will never be the same. Not after being with you. Okay? After being with God, you'll never be the same, baby. I'm telling you. Relax the hold of darkness and be at cause. Wow. That's an 8. Okay, wow. The message is like very clear to me. 1 second. I'm just gonna keep going until Spirit asks me to stop. Faith in the process. 32. Another 5 here. What is already within you? Look at that. 17. 8. Spirals of manifestation. Okay, this is a very clear read. Wow. Conscious connection. So I'm going to take that. Okay, and that's 35. So let's get it started. We have Pandora's gift, going beyond normal. Relax and hold the darkness and be at cause. Wait, relax the hold of darkness and be at cause. Okay. Faith in the process. What is already with you? Spirals of manifestations and conscious connections. this is literally what I started with. Okay, pretty much this Pandora's gift is really, to me, it feels like the gift of gratitude. And sometimes that's all we need to do. We can get stuck in what isn't working, or we can choose to look at it as rejection is protection. We can get stuck in, but I want this, okay? That's another fucking download I didn't talk about. It's flesh versus the like our flesh versus like what God wants for us. And like flesh versus material, I want to say. I'm sorry, Spirit, I just need more clear read. Spirit said slow down. Too many times we think that when we receive something, it's like, charge it. I deserve that. Like, that's the energy you get. Like, we all just, like, kind of have this expecting, like, we deserve it. And Spirit is saying, I give you things all the time. And the last thing that you do is just thank me. And so I'm going to make you work for these next gifts. So I'm going to make you work a little harder, but it's not going to be in the way you think. It's not in the material that you're working. It's in the spiritual that you're working. And that is when I say go beyond. I'm having you go beyond the flesh. I'm having you go beyond what you're used to in order to come to me, because I want you talking to me. I want you connecting with me. And when you are in the space of this 3D realm, you hustle and you move with angst and you move with, this energy that I don't even know or like, because that's what you learned from them. You didn't learn that from me. And so I need you to be relaxed. I need you to be grateful. I need you to know that no matter what you are doing, you are still receiving from me. And so Spirit is getting very like, I'm at your motherfucking throats right now. Okay, Spirit is like, I want to see if she knows that by just showing up in this slight easy way, just showing up in this little capacity, okay? Like, for some of you, you're looking for a man, but you don't like get your hair done, or you don't like wash your hair, or normally shower, or leave space for your partner in your bed, or you know what I mean? Like, you don't do anything to prepare yourself for what Spirit has for you. And so you need to start imagining that person is already here, that there is space on the bed for them, that you are cooking a meal, enough for tonight and enough for them tomorrow. You know what I mean? Like, you need to start preparing yourself like you're preparing for your husband or for your wife. You need to start preparing with a general knowing that Spirit has already prepared you for this person to come. And so when Spirit says go beyond the flesh. You need to work you need to work with the spirit realm as much as you're working in the material realm. You need to, take your ass to the motherfucking gym. I don't care if it's, twice or 3 times a week, but just get there. Start building a routine, because what you're doing now, it's not working and it hasn't been working. And there's Spirit's like, well, you can keep doing it that way, but I'm not feeding you. You know what I mean? Like, this isn't coming from me. So Spirit is saying, I want you to relax the hold of darkness and be at cause. Know that what you're being prepped for is for a cause. Just because, you're being forced to sit your ass down. You might have gotten sick this past week and Spirit's like, good, now she has no reason to leave the house. Like, Spirit is prepping you and you're still looking for a reason to run or escape. And so Spirit is like, all right, I'm going to delay your flight. Okay, I'm just going to cancel your flight because you're not getting it. And unless I do something, you're going to go ahead and ruin this test. You're going to choose what your flesh wants because you just can't sit still, because you can't be patient in what I'm trying to bring you, because you just haven't learned your lesson, and you're still going to give to this person when I told you not to. You're still going to go back to the karma when I told you not to. So how about you sit your ass down and I'll take care of it my way. There's like a split in energy. I'm telling you, energetic discourse is happening right now, because some people are saying, I learned my motherfucking lesson in 2022. And others are like, damn, I got fed this lesson last Mercury retrograde, and now I'm in the midst of the lesson, but instead of learning it, I'm going to choose to go back into the cycle. And Spirit's irritated. So Spirit's like, all right, here's a thunderstorm, or here's a snowstorm. Let me get your flight cut off, because otherwise you're going to go into this new year drinking again when I wanted you to sit your ass down last year and it didn't work. So now this year I'm going to do something that's out of your control. So then you're going to learn. Faith in the process. I want you to get on your knees and start talking to me the way you talk to your friends all the time, the way you talk to your girl all the time, the way you talk to your man all the time. You're always putting something outside of me. Oh, you know, and this is crazy because like last couple nights I just passed out, and normally I read like a little bit of the scripture before I pass out. And this morning Spirit was like, wake your ass up and read the scripture. You wake up and you talk to me. You don't need to talk to Twitter. You don't need to talk to your friends. You don't need to talk to anyone else but me first. And when you talk to me, we're gonna find an easier connect. We're gonna understand why we're moving in faith. And when you do that, you're gonna be able to make better decisions, even when you're mad. You're gonna be able to make better decisions, even when you're happy. There's just an impulse that happens because you haven't connected with Spirit first. And that's been another message. You need to do all things through God first. If God doesn't approve of it, then you shouldn't be doing it. You know, you jump to your habits, you jump to your iPad, you jump to your work, you jump to everything else but God, and then you wonder why things are not being implemented in the way you need them to be. Well, Spirit can't help you out if you're not helping out Spirit. You know? Like sometimes it's not our place to speak up, especially over these holidays. Sometimes it's not our place to give you the advice that you need. Sometimes you need to wake yourself up and say, this isn't working for me. I am not the same person when I'm with this person. I'm not happy when, you know, I'm drinking every night. Why am I doing that? You know, you have to be the one to cut yourself off. That's why you go into a bar and they say, okay, last call. This is your last call right now before you step into this new energy. And I don't mean New Year. I don't celebrate the New Year as this. I celebrate it in March. But there's still an energy that is coming that's changing the course of your life. And Spirit is saying last call. Are you getting on the train to go, or are you going to stay here? Because I have the room, but I'm not going to give it to just anyone. I'm giving it to someone who's getting serious about their destiny. So are you in or are you out? Let me know. What is already with you? So many of us are searching outside of us to like look for what is our purpose, what is this, what is that, and Spirit is saying, well, like I said, if you would just talk to me in the mornings, I'd be able to tell you what I want you to do this day. I think a lot of you like think that you have to structure out everything, and when you do that, you don't leave room for Spirit. You don't need to structure, you just need to follow that bliss. You need to follow what feels right. You need to follow what brings you the energy to move. And that's when Spirit says it's already within you. You already have, you know, the will. You just have to find the want to make it happen. And it's funny because like Spirit literally just had me go and get knitting needles. I've never knitted a day in my life, but I saw this sweater I wanted and it was like $300. And I was like, okay, if that motherfucker is $300, I need to learn how to motherfucking do this because I want to make a $300 sweater for myself, you know, like, and it's going to be better because I made it, just like my food is better because I cook it. Like you have to kind of know when to shut this shit off. You gotta shut the fucking 3D off and create your own 3D reality. And Spirit has been trying to take you to the beyond. Spirit has been trying to get you to do that, but you've been so distracted by the diversions that are sent your way, okay? That's another thing. There are so many diversions being sent your way because you are on the path that Spirit has created for you, but you take the motherfucking bait. You take it every single time. Well, I know she really likes cigarettes, so let me dangle this in front of her and see if she'll bite after you decided that you quit, you know? Like, it's like, have you decided or not? That's what Spirit is saying. Spirit's like, I can take you there if you want, but you have to be willing to get into the car. Otherwise, what? I'm just gonna, I believe you. Like, we're all not gonna wait for you. Like, what? Spirals of manifestation. You know why? It comes out because it's like, you decided to fucking do it. Okay, you decided to put in the work, have faith in what you were doing by just doing it and trusting that the divine is going to bring you something outside of this. And that's what I'm saying. I don't have a sweater yet, but I have the needles and I have the thread. And so that is my first part. But once I get started, baby, and I understand how to move it, how to do it, the sweater is it's making itself. And that's the manifestation. It's what I saw. I'm now creating it and trusting the process of learning. And now God says, okay, here's your manifestation. I knew you wanted this. You did it. You showed me that you could do it. Conscious connection, okay? Like we're seeing 8s come up in this. We're seeing 9s come up in this. We're seeing 5s come up in this. This is all about your willingness to change. And through that willingness, guess who you get to meet? You get to meet that partner. You get to meet a new version of you, your higher self. You want to know what's fucking crazy? Yesterday, my mom and I have been sleeping in the same bed because I'm staying at my mom's house. And she was like, we were both sleeping. And in the middle of the night, I'm pretty sure it was like 4 a.m., she literally goes, Caitlin, the phone's for you. And I was like, who is it? I literally said, who is it? And then she just rolled back over and fell asleep. And I was like, was this my higher self? Was my higher self calling down? 3111 just passed. Was my higher self calling me down yesterday to say, like, it's time. It's time to get on the train. I'm calling you because I want to know if you're ready to go. But it was delivered by the woman who delivered me. That message, you know, because she is a part of my higher self. So she connected with me through the astral realm to tell me you are well on your way. But are you going to pick up the phone? Are you ready? Like, are you ready? I'm not kidding. I'm being prepared. I am being prepared, and so are you. We're both being prepared for what we've always craved, what we've always wanted. But Spirit is saying, if you want it, I can't have you going back to what you used to do. I can't have you, getting on the phone with your siblings and playing victim when you have a choice to leave the call. I can't have you, like, waiting for your ex to call you when you were no longer that version. So that person calling you is a waste of both of your motherfucking time. Because why? Because they don't know you like you know you now. And back then, they got away with hell and brimfire on your ass. They literally played your ass so hard. And now you have sense. You have sense because you've spent time with your family again. You have sense because you've really learned from your abandonment wound. You have sense because you no longer give just anyone your energy. And so when that call comes through, when that text comes through, you better say, I wish you well. I'm sending you the most love, but this is no longer in alignment with me. And you move the fuck on because that person was just holding you back. And you remember because you're not where you are now when you were with them. Baby, the joy that you have, 333, has the joy that you have now was nowhere to be found before them. Okay, we need a BT around here instead of BC, before Christ, before them. Who you were is not who you are. And so you need to get on board with this new version of you, because this new version of you is living in integrity. And this integrity is what is pulling you up by the bootstraps and keeping you in alignment with God and the divine. 333, once again on my clock, 33333. You are divine. And the old you was a thief, was a liar, manipulator. The old you told yourself stories that even you didn't believe. The old you didn't know what love was. But because you've been really, really honing in on love for self, you've really learned about it, and you've really decided that because I do know love, I can no longer give love to the people or things that never understood me to begin with. There's a part of you that's ready, and there's another part of you that's looking back behind your shoulder. But you know it's time. And so Spirit is waiting. Spirit is saying, we're leaving in 5. Either you're with us or you're not. I know you're getting on that motherfucking train. Because you're ready to ascend up off of this planet. There's a lot of us ready to ascend off of this planet. We're sick of learning these lessons. But ultimately, we're healing the wounds while we're at it. And that's what Spirit wants you to know. It's okay to heal the wounds. It's okay to move forward. It's okay to trust. Your ability to trust is what is bringing in your manifestations. I feel a lot of love coming in for the collective, and love on a level that you've never even experienced before, because you've been so. Spirit, what's the word you want? Present. You've been so present, and that's like, I'm telling you, like you didn't know how to listen before, and so you had to learn how to listen throughout this cycle. And now that the cycle's ending, it's like, okay, you learned how to listen. Now you can have a friendship worthy of your energy. Now you can have a partner worthy of your energy because you're listening better. Before, you would have gotten in arguments. You wouldn't have been able to accept this kind of love. But because you really learned to listen, when someone's speaking to you, you're not going to speak over them. You're going to let them be. You're going to let them speak. You're going to let them know that you're here for them, and they can do the same for you. And that's really the beautiful unfolding of your story, is that you were once hard-headed, and now you see, you hear, you understand. And Spirit is so grateful. Spirit's like, my little angel has just grown to be the most perfect being. I can't make this up. Listening for truth. Another 9, okay? Like, you're listening now. You're open now. Do you see that? You're more delicate now. You're not in your masculine energy so much anymore. You've like centered yourself, and you're like, okay, I know when I need to be my primal self, and I know when I can be soft now. Like soft like the sea. You know, water comes in and it just clears things up. Some of you are dealing with the water signs, could be Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces energy. We're in a Pisces moon right now. So a lot of you guys are just softened up. You're in a space of just, wow, I feel clean. I don't want to mess up this vessel. I don't want to dirty myself up with someone else's lies, with someone else's faults, with someone else's baggage. I just clean my shit up. And now Spirit's like, well, I'm gonna bring in a test to make sure you're cool with keeping it clean. Because you know, before you wanted to go check shit out, and that's what got you fucked up before. You said, no, I'm good on that. I'm so good on that. I'm not trying to fuck it up. I'm not gonna take either of these because I just want a good shuffle. Like, all these cards are coming out at once. It just makes me sad. So let's just split up this deck. Against the grain. You're going the opposite way, baby. You know, you were just, baby, this is a 4. You're no longer following the flock. You're no longer acting as a sheep. You're recognizing that everyone else doesn't have your best interest at heart. Come to life. Look at that. You're building something that is so beautiful, and it doesn't have to be a business. Maybe it's just rebuilding you. You're adding color back into your life. You're coming back to life after you've given yourself up. You're no longer like living in survival mode. You're no longer like giving yourself the bare minimum. Do you understand that? Like, that is how you receive a better partner. That is how you receive better friendships, because you deserve it, because you know you deserve it. That self-love is boiling out of you now. And now people are like, damn, but like she looks this way. She does this. She's mysterious. Like, some of you guys have just given up social media altogether, and you're just like, you know what? I don't got time. Some of you have stopped giving so much of your energy and time away, and now people are wondering where you're at. So they're calling your phone. Some of y'all are changing your numbers. Like, it's the energy that you've done with it. You're like, I gotta throw this shit out. I can't bring this with me this year. I gotta cut this person off. Like, I can't bring this with me. I'm tired, you know? Like, and it's just like, it's like people say that, but like y'all are actually doing it, and like you're coming to life because you're actually like, you know what? I'm not dealing with this. I don't like this energy. I don't fuck with this. I'm not doing it. And Spirit's like, okay. Okay, baby, I just want to be clear. Are we clear? And you're like, yeah, we're clear. Clear. Back to life, okay? I love this energy. Follow your own rhythm. Like, do we see this? This isn't even about a partnership at this point. This is literally just about you guys choosing yourself. 5, again. I'm like done here. I'm really done here. Shock of the new. I tweeted the other day, wait for spring. I know I posted that in my last video, wait for spring. Because the person that's being born right now, girl, it's over with. It's over with. And Spirit is just like, that's my baby. Anyways, it was 4:04. I'm gonna end it here. 444. I'm so proud of you all, and I'm excited to see like what's next for the collective. Like, this week is going to be big. Pay attention to anything that's irritating you. Ask God about those irritations and just trust in your decision. The energy that I'm getting is 7. We're moving into that 7 year, y'all. So pay attention. It's going to be a very spiritual year. More people are going to be stepping towards their spiritual side. More people are going to be listening instead of asking. Like, I'm telling you, it's going to be a very beautiful year. Individuals are going to really step into their individual nature, which is ultimately going to give you a better sense of your direction and purpose. So pay attention. Spirit is not motherfucking playing with y'all. I love you. Live, breathe, and be. You are in alignment if you're watching this video.